Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that right now. Hit that subscribe button right below. And then Sunday night, the Cincinnati Bengals 32, Baltimore Ravens 14. Joe Burrow makes his return. The entire Bengals team interviewed post-game, eating the turkey and eating all the – they had the long snapper in there, grabbing a leg and everything. It was wild. Bengals moved to 4-8. You would think that they're in first place with the excitement here, but it's not crazy right now. They're 2 games out.
On the way in, there was an orange haze in the sky. Cincinnati's back, baby.
It's a victory weekend here in Cincinnati.
It is. I mean, their playoff odds jumped from under 1% before this game to 9% according to PFF. Now, the NFL doesn't have them anywhere near as high as that yet. Maybe, I don't think last night changed that. But anyway, it's starting to happen again. This whole, like last year, where a million things needed to break their way in order for them to go on the run and make the postseason, and almost all of the million did, except for one very last game at the end. It's still possible. I mean, it's unlikely, but the crazy thing is the Flacco move should have saved their season. Like, if they didn't drop the game to the Jets, we'd be in a very different spot.
And the Bears.
But the Bears apparently are the number 1 seed. They're good now.
It was just the way that it happened.
But the point is, you lost to the Jets. Like, you went and beat Pittsburgh when you weren't supposed to, and then you lost to the Jets to follow that up. If they'd beaten the Jets, we would be talking about a completely different scenario, I think.
Trying to see what happened with my plug here. So Joe Burrow makes his return. There's stories on both sides. Let me start with Baltimore really quick. Lamar Jackson finishes 17 of 32 for 246 with an interception, 2 fumbles in there as well. That was where this all started. The turnovers for Baltimore. So you could say, look, Burrow made his return, and I want to break down what happened there as well. But it's a 7-3 game that looks like the normal game, right? Derrick Henry's rattling off big runs early on. Lamar and the Ravens are backed up. He's kind of dancing in the pocket a little bit. He fumbles. Ball pops up. Cincinnati recovers. Baltimore kept making stops in the red zone and, so that essentially handed the Bengals 3 points. Then you have Isaiah Likely, what should have been a 45-yard touchdown, fumbles out of the back of the end zone, which you should not do. Just don't fumble out of the back of the end zone. Just don't do it. Don't complain about the rule. Don't fumble. So he fumbles out of the back of the end zone, touchback. That takes 6+ points off the board for the Ravens. Then Lamar tries to, throw it, pulls it back in, drops it, fumble at the 20. That leads to a Bengals field goal. Like, the Ravens defense kept forcing these field goals in
the first half,
difficult
Burrow
situations.
Was 1 of 9 in the red zone. Like 9 attempts, 1 completion.
So their offense, it's interesting what happens, right? Sometimes there's quarterback limitations. Sometimes there's quarterbacks elevating. There's something about when Burrow comes in. I don't know if it's him or if it's Zach Taylor just putting more on his plate. It just feels low percentage. Like, they get the ball in the tight red zone. They're immediately in the gun, running the ball.
First and goal from the 2, and they got nothing out of it.
Well, yeah, they're in the gun.
The field goal. No, nothing, because the fourth down. They got nothing. Got nothing out of a first and goal from the 2.
And none of the plays felt like they had a chance, right? They're in the gun on
Gesicki should have caught his one, but
I thought he missed him. Didn't he just miss him?
I think of the 4th down, Gesicki should come down with that.
Anyway, it feels low percentage when Burrow's in there. Remember last year they were the worst goal line running team, and they're sitting there in the gun, and there's no QB run threat, and they're just like run to nowhere, and then just low percentage passes on the outside. And so they were struggling in the red zone. And even just a lot of their regular offense is like, who's winning on the outside? Let's have Joe Burrow throw the ball helmet high, 20 yards down the field outside the numbers. And a lot of times he could do that because he's awesome. But they kind of morphed back into what I felt like this low percentage Burrow offense, where I thought there was elements of the Flacco offense where it's like, oh, look, they're scheming it open. And they're using the middle of the field more and whatever. Anyway, Burrow started to make some big-time throws in the second half. I thought they found some better rhythm. But the story is those turnovers, man. Lamar gets, they're down. Every time Baltimore was down 2 scores in the second, they also turned it over again, batted pass interception in the red zone. So credit the Bengals defense for playing well for maybe the first time all season.
Yeah. Well, it's turnovers and missed opportunities, the combination of the two. The Bengals defense definitely played better than it has basically all season, as you said. But Baltimore also shot itself in the foot a bunch in the game on like non-forced errors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You already mentioned the Isaiah Likely one. You've got Tez Walker with a huge drop on a deep shot from Lamar Jackson. There's another one where Tez Walker's got the ball in his hands and can't come down with it. Dax Hill's fighting for it, but honestly, I think the ground forced it out more than Dax Hill did. It's a tough catch, but it's one you want a guy to come up with, particularly when he's already dropped a deep shot earlier. So, Lamar just like throwing the ball on the ground, right? Tuck rule, ball just pops out of his hands. I mean, that's an unforced error. So, yeah, the Bengals defense did play better than it's played all season, but there's a list of just basic screw-ups from the Ravens.
Zay Flowers fumble toward the end. It looked like for a minute Travis Jones saved the game. Bengals were up 15. It's middle of the fourth quarter. Travis Jones, it's third down, right? The Bengals are sitting there. All they need to do is run a play, kick a field goal. You're up 3 scores. This game's pretty much over. Travis Jones forces a fumble on and recovers it against Samaje Perine. For a minute, saved the game, but then Zay Flowers fumbled it right back. And rest was history, man, for Cincinnati. I thought Burrow, threw the seam route, touchdown. That was a backbreaker for Baltimore and a great throw to Princeton, to Yosivas, who is he's on billboards. Have you seen him around billboards around town?
No.
He's promoting some mustard or something like that. Yosivas. I've been meaning to text you about this for weeks every time. But I'm in the car, so I drive. And I'm like, remember to tell Sam.
But you do your speech to text thing in the car.
I could, but even that's a little dangerous, and I don't want. We don't want to. You're not allowed to even hold your phone in Ohio.
No. It's got to be It's got to be all voice command.
Could be through. I got my. I got it hooked up, but
you could have given me 100 guesses for what Princeton was promoting, and I wouldn't have got the mustard.
I could be wrong. I'm trying to, but because every time I'm like, all right, remember to tell Sam, and here I am on air telling you, it was his only catch, 29-yarder, and maybe Burrow's best throw of the day. Also had a nice, downfield throw to Chase, but he, early on he missed Chase. He was a little rusty, and he admitted that after Burrow missed a couple throws.
Despite
early
that,
on.
Though, by the way, 32 attempts in the first half, which was like the second most of his entire career.
He just went right into it.
Right? They're like, he might be a little rusty, but what the hell? We need him.
But that's what
I mean. Go, Joe. Sling it.
It's there's actually a lot of similarities to Burrow and Andrew Luck in their career.
Yeah,
that was where Andrew Luck's. Remember Andrew Luck's rookie season was 2012. RG3's got Kyle Shanahan. RG3 had a great statistical season, one of the best of all time for a rookie quarterback to that point. And you're watching that, and you're like, yes, he's the run threat. But you see all these easy throws. There's deep post running, dudes running wide open all over the place. It's like, man, they are scheming it up for RG3. And Andrew Luck's early career is like 3rd and 12. Throw the ball to this exact spot right outside the numbers. The difficulty level high.
And
Drop
also,
back passing game, a lot on that quarterback. I feel like that's very similar to how the Bengals treat Burrow.
And also there seems to be an acknowledgement, again, both teams throughout their careers. There's like an acknowledgement that, we're asking too much of this guy. On the other hand, we don't have a better option, so sorry, right? And that was their careers. Like, the Colts basically all the way were like, I know too much is on his plate. We're expecting him to be Superman too often. On the other hand, we don't have anything better, so sorry.
So 32 dropbacks in the first
and
half.
it's
Welcome back, Joe.
Burrow is coming back off his injury, and he's working with a carbon plate in his foot, and, he's a bit rusty. And, ideally we'd like to make this thing go better, but we don't have a better option, so you're going to have to attempt 32 passes in the first half. Sorry. By the way, the plate thing, he's playing with a carbon fiber plate in his shoe to prevent re-injury, which apparently is so uncomfortable that he's literally changing out of his cleat and putting on sneakers on the sideline, like between series. That's nuts. He goes to the sideline after whatever the drive has ended, takes off the cleat, pops on a sneaker, and is like, now I got to... That's how uncomfortable this plate is in his foot.
Seems unideal.
It does. Very unideal.
He said he was a little bit more mobile than he had anticipated. And then, post-game interview, it sounded like, it was a wild scene. They invited, most of the Bengals team to partake with Melissa Stark and the turkey dinner. And Joe's over there like, man, thanks to the doctors, it was really tough. I've had all these injuries, just pouring his heart out. And everybody's just like destroying turkey legs and everything. So it was emotional for him. And it's
meanwhile, he didn't want to touch anything that he hadn't seen prepared individually by his. It was smart, by the way.
Fair. Yeah.
I don't know where that's been. I don't know who made that. I don't know what they put in it.
I mean, as someone who's delivered a tainted turkey dinner to others, to teammates.
A tainted turkey dinner.
Yeah, I've told that story on the show before. I gave the salmonella-laced turkey dinner to my teammates.
Yeah.
Didn't partake myself, but I delivered it.
Seriously, though, in this world of you're 100% responsible for what's in your body. Like if you pop some random substance, I don't know how good of an excuse is the dude from the TV gave me this turkey leg and that's where it came from. All right, it might be legit, but does that, if you get popped for something that happened just to the salt had some weird substance in it, is that getting you off?
Yeah. The Ravens chefs.
Right.
They made it, so it's got to be fine.
I think that's smart from Joe.
They had some blue crabs in there.
It's not television friendly, but it's smart.
They added blue crabs and Cincinnati chili to the mix.
Blue crabs are the smashy?
Yeah, that's what you had at
right.
Jimmy's.
Yeah.
That's
not a. You can't.
It's not a made-for-TV food.
No.
Somebody's going to have to
crack into that with the hammer.
Somebody has to do the work for
right.
you. It's not like grabbing a lobster or
or a soft shell crab. We used to eat the thing.
Or crab legs.
Right.
I mean, the blue crab, you can't. As a former blue crab, 2-year blue crab of Southern Maryland,
right.
You don't just.
It's a lot of work.
It's not TV food. So they added that to the mix, though, as well. Implications here in this game.
Bengals are alive.
Bengals are 4-8. Ravens are 6-6, still technically atop the division. Steelers lost yesterday, puts them at 6-6, and they're playing next week. And so when we go back, I mean, it's still a massive uphill climb for Cincinnati.
What's actually the best for them now? I was assuming that Baltimore sweeping the Steelers was good for Cincinnati, but now is it actually better for them to split the series?
I think they'd rather Baltimore win.
Because their best chance of making the playoffs is winning the division, right?
Oh yeah, they've got no shot at they've got no shot at the wild card.
So they need to overhaul both teams.
Correct.
To do that, do they need them to split the series against each other?
They already have the win. They split with Pittsburgh, but I don't know where the tiebreaker would go because a lot still has to happen.
I assume it becomes a 3-way tie at the top if they have any shot of doing this.
And if there's more than one, if there's a 3-way tie, it gets to conference win percentage, and the Bengals are, I think that's actually where they're favored, 4-4.
We don't have time to figure out what the best thing for them is.
Either way, Cincinnati, for the second straight year, probably has to win out. They play Buffalo, though, in Buffalo next week. So it's a tough – Bengals fans are likely going to be kicking themselves about the Jets game and the Bears game.
The Jets game.
The Jets game more than anything else. 15-point lead with a few minutes left.
I mean, that's going to be that's this year's version of the Patriots Week 1 mess last year, where it's the one game that ended up costing you and stopping you being in the postseason was the one game in the season where your offense actually didn't fire against a bad Patriots team in the first week of the season. This year, it's going to be you actually rescued your season with a Joe Flacco trade and probably beating Pittsburgh in a short week on Thursday, and then you back that up by losing to the Jets the next week when Flacco still played really well. Flacco played well enough that your season should have survived, and it didn't.
Lost to the Jets 39-38, and then the Bears 47-42. Now, that would have been a miracle comeback,
right?
But then it became a miracle comeback for the Bears.
Right.
Multiple miracle comebacks there. And, yeah, man. They're by the way, the defense is playing better for the last 2 weeks. Remember, they played tough against New England, a little bit better in this game. But Baltimore, Lamar doesn't look right still.
And the offense generally. I mean, this is the first time in his career that Lamar has had 3 straight games without a touchdown pass. Now, some of that's freaky stuff like Isaiah Likely. But this offense has not been right really all season long. And for a while, there was a stretch. I mean, his stats are still good. There was this, overall in the season. But there was a stretch where it looked great. But it's if you just watch them, it's not the way it's supposed to. This Ravens team is not the juggernaut that it was supposed to be, even with the defense playing better than disastrous and Lamar back. It's not the Ravens people expected to see.
All right, man. So Bengals 4-8, Ravens fall to 6-6. Ravens have that Steelers game next week. Bengals have the Bills this week. Then they play again against Baltimore at home. And that's where I think if you're the Bengals and you can get through those 2 games, those are the toughest games. You have Miami, up-and-coming Miami, by the way, who has a better record than the Bengals. Miami, Cardinals, and then the Browns to finish the season. But Joe Burrow's back, and I thought he looked pretty good in the second half of this game.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a video.
You heard the man. Subscribe.